Fam, we got a good show today. I mean, I hate to say a good show. There's a lot of stuff going on. Some sad stuff. Kind of some stuff we've been talking about on the show that we had to keep our eye on. I think a year ago we did a show, right, John, about the Litani River. Israel starting to look at Hezbollah going, what's going on? Then 2 weeks ago, there's some clashes at the border. And we had thought that maybe Israel was going to use these times when Beirut is an economic disaster, collapse, if that, you know what I'm saying, that they might be... Is the word advantageous or is it opportunistic? Which is the word? To maybe go in there and see how much territory and land they could eventually take away from Lebanon. Not only that, but cripple an ally of Iran, like they've been crippling the other ally in Syria.
Yep.
Because I think the United States and Israel feels that they can't take on Iran head on. So maybe they weaken some of their enemies. Who knows? But I mean, it's a sad story. It's going to be a lot of information in the show today. We're going to kind of break it down. But, fam, your initial feelings when you heard and you saw what happened in Beirut's lifeline, their port.
That it wasn't fireworks. That was my initial reaction. I mean, like, CNN started saying that and pushing that. And even a lot of media over there was like, well, this looks like an accident. Just given the circumstances and the relationship between in the Middle East right now, with Lebanon, with Israel, with Iran, with everything that's been going on, I have a really hard time believing in coincidences of this nature.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Well, it's we talked about it last year. It started about, hey, look, the Litani River. We pointed out some old Zionist maps that had them going into South Lebanon, and that would become the north part of Israel, a buffer zone for them between the river and their country. And not to mention, we can't escape the fact that Israel has been going around bombing Syria these last several days. There's been mysterious bombs going off in Iran. You just saw one in the UAE. So, I mean, it's very coincidental right now to just think that this was a big time accident, but we're going to go over everything. Guys, like, share, subscribe. If you're on a Rockfin, thank you so much. If you're not on a Rockfin, go on over and sign up for free. We need your help over there. This is a great platform, and who knows with YouTube nowadays, what they're doing, how they're doing it. So the first one, I just put up a video, which is a little compilation. It's a 2-minute video and has all the different angles. Johnny, let's start off and take a look at the size of this blast. Now, once again, they're saying this blast was something like 1/10 the blast of Hiroshima. Yeah. So this was huge. So once again, fam's theory, it's not firecrackers. Let's take a look. Whoa. Any angle you look at it, fam, far, to the left, to the right, head on, devastating.
Yeah.
Devastating blast.
Yeah.
Well,
I just don't think fireworks would the cloud of a firework would be like that.
Yeah.
Just based on what I've seen, that's not how it happens. It really it does seem a lot like something like, like you said, a tenth of Hiroshima. That is a tenth of Hiroshima. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine what 10 times that would be? I mean, just even looking at that is like crazy.
It's scary right there.
Imagine
right?
10 times that. And this is why we focus so much on foreign policy here, because a nuclear a war, there are no winners in a nuclear war. I mean, there's just a bunch of dead people.
Yeah.
And we want to avoid that at all costs.
Yeah. It's just, I got to stop and pause for a second because it's just devastating. And Sarah Abdullah's next tweet is very important. Now, Lebanon doesn't produce a lot of things. The port is so important to Lebanon. And she says, the port of Beirut has been completely destroyed in today's massive explosion. This is Lebanon's main economic lifeline. And that's why I wanted to put this tweet up there, because she hit it on the nose. The economic crisis in our country, already worsened by U.S. sanctions, is about to get even much worse. So this, fam, was just devastating. Terrible. The initial reports were firecrackers. Then a lot of people got behind this ammonium nitrate thing. There was a boat seized, and they stored it in the docks. They improperly seized it, or they improperly stored it, excuse me. And Saul Contract put on the chat that there was something happened in China. I'm going to look into that. But China did have an ammonium nitrate blast last year, and it didn't look half as devastating as this one.
Right.
So once again, we've been keeping our eye on the ball, and this is why foreign policy is so important. Because if Israel has aligned themselves completely with the United States and their geopolitical wars and their geopolitical ideology, they could be helping in on this. Who knows? There was some talks that there were some American aircraft flying in the area yesterday. So, I mean, I don't know what to believe. I'm not just taking this from what they tell us. And we have to look at the next picture I had off him, though. This is a really good one. I mean, it's a shocking explosion occurred in Lebanon's capital, Beirut. 22 got worse. Pray for Lebanon. And watch, this is a maid, and watch what she does, how she grabs the girl. This was kind of getting viral, and boom, she grabs the girl and starts running. Johnny, you want to play it one more time? I don't think if he hit it. She's just vacuuming. She hears something. Wait, what the hell? Turn around. Glass everywhere.
Jeez.
Just a scary, scary sight. And the other one, more horrific pictures. We put up here in this one. I mean, look at just the next tweet. This tweet is unavailable. They took it down. Oh God. Well, we have pictures of people walking in the streets, bloody faces, just terrible, horrific. Like, you see the one common picture with the girl walking on the phone, face full of blood. This guy's walking with a face full of blood. He waves. Let's just go to chaos in the hospitals. Let's take a look at the hospitals. I was told, and I think the BBC was reporting, and reported first, that a lot of hospitals in Beirut were turning people away because they just didn't have the resources or the room or the space to treat all the people. Glass everywhere, like it was raining glass. So here's a picture of the hospitals, fam. You can see how devastating it is. There's little babies, there's children, there's old people. It's on the floor. Look, he's on the floor. I mean, it's a scary sight. So understanding the magnitude of the situation, very, very important. So let's get into a little speculation. You want to get into a little speculation about what caused the explosion first?
Yeah.
All right. So the first one, in the Moon over Alabama, did some really great reporting on this. The ammonium nitrate theory. So Moon over Alabama says, yesterday, 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate stored in a warehouse at the port of Beirut, Lebanon, exploded. The blast killed more than 100 people and wounded over 4,000. Many buildings in Beirut were severely damaged. The pressure wave broke windows as far as 10 miles away. Beirut's port is mostly destroyed. Lebanon's natural grain reserve stored in grain silos next to the explosion is gone. And that's something to point out right now, fam, because, they're already starving there. The economic disaster, the crisis, it's fallen. The coronavirus that's hit, it really been a plague over there. This is something big. Now, I just want to, they talk about the story, but look at the picture, John, they had right there real quick of the ammonium nitrate right there. I just want to put that picture up. Tons improperly stored. So, I don't know. The story has some legs. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a chemist. Johnny, you're an engineer. Is there any idea? Well, you're a TV chemist, right? You're a TV certified chemist. Do you think? Do you know anything about ammonium nitrate? Have you ever worked with it before? Or?
I know it's explosive. Ammonium, and then anything with nitrate. I mean,
yeah,
it's pretty bad. If you look at the shockwave, that shockwave was like huge.
Yeah,
that's so much pressure.
Right.
Like I studied what's it called, the jets, right? So
jet propulsions.
Jet propulsions, and they would get Mach 2, 4. They would create those because of the heat condensing the water in the air.
Right.
So that's like a lot of heat and energy that created that white explosion. The mushroom cloud.
Well, I mean, that's the theory they're sticking with right now. That's what they're pushing. They want to make it look like an accident, if it is.
They originally said it was fireworks, and I just kind of want to show. I saw a thread the other day where they show like the worst fireworks ever, right?
Yeah.
So like this is what an example of like the worst fireworks explosion that you can see here. So this one was in Colombia.
It's such a noise.
A bunch of fireworks going off. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, firework factory, and it's kind of funny because Dick Medhurst is the one who said, "Go look online and look at these things." Dick Medhurst will be on the show. Richard Medhurst, he'll be on the show. I like to call him that. He'll be on the show Friday at noon Pacific to talk some more foreign policy with us. And I believe next week we got Ben Norton as well to talk foreign policy. So we're going to keep our eyes on the ball in all areas, whatnot. But a firework factory blowing up, nothing compared to what we saw over there. Nothing. So you got another one, John?
Yeah, this one's like a warehouse. So
in St. Petersburg, Russia?
Yeah. So see, like
it stays in one place. The expansion,
like
the cloud
okay, like
is
that,
not.
like maybe that was like the original one, but then that second one, the second explosion.
It was like it reminds me of a nuclear attack, like with the cloud. Obviously, I don't think it was at all.
Definitely not a nuke.
But the cloud is the pressure that was there. That's not caused by a fireworks.
The shockwave that was sent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Once again, I don't know about ammonium nitrate if it's possible. But let's dive into some theories because a lot of us were saying, keep your eye on Israel. Right now, they're at the border when it came to Hezbollah 2 weeks ago.
Well, they're expanding. The whole plan, if you guys haven't seen, is for Israel to expand not just Palestine, but beyond Palestine. That's the whole point of their effort to block the Palestinians from gaining any power because they want to be able to expand and take over.
Yeah.
And so that's their plan. So I don't think we should be surprised that if Israel has anything to do with this, at least behind the scenes.
We can't not look at them. We cannot because also not only just the plan to expand, Lebanon being an ally of Iran, a big one. Hezbollah is in Beirut. They're South Lebanon. You know what I'm saying? And the theory is, I really didn't put some stuff out. The theory is that Hezbollah was doing this as revenge to let the
Hezbollah would be the fall guy. That would be like a typical Western.
Yeah. Well, I think they're about to sentence like 4 Hezbollah soldiers for what the death of the Palestinian president in 2005. So they're trying to say that Hezbollah was sending a message like, don't try any of our soldiers. But I don't believe that. That's kind of bullshit. So we have to dive into what Israel, we were talking about the Hezbollah thing on the border just less than 2 weeks ago. Well, Syrian girl, your friend Fam, love Syrian girl. If you want a blind regurgitation of official sources, whatever side they are on, go elsewhere. I'm not a news source or a repeater. I'm an analyst. I analyze. I speculate. I predict. The fact that this aggravates people so much that they call for censorship is laughable. Now, this is something she pointed out. The IDF, they had this on their website. Locations where attempted are being made to establish missile conversion infrastructure. That's in Lebanon, on the port, right there. So 2 years ago, they were starting to do that Colin Powell, where they got weapons of mass distraction kind of thing. So they were already plotting and kind of planning. This people have to understand the significance of this port. You know, I'm not an expert in this area, but I know enough how important ports are to countries when it comes to trade and money and economic lifelines. This is it for Beirut. This is all they had left. You cripple this and you crush this right now, you're crushing the country, and chaos will ensue.
Exactly, 100%. I mean, I agree with that, and I also, I don't know if you have it up yet, but there's the tweet that Israel, I think it was the Israeli Prime Minister made.
Oh, you sent that to me in the things I didn't. Israel Netanyahu said pretty much that he's going to attack anybody who will hit. He used the word hit. Yeah. Anybody that will come after him, hit them hard and whatnot. And this is kind of what's significant to that. So, fam will send it over, Johnny, and. While we're talking about that, did you see the second tweet in Israel being opportunistic? That's their website. I don't know if you put that up. So it's right there. You can see they put that up. What year? That was 2018, September 27th, 2018. So, they have had their eye on the port. They've talked about, going after that port. They were saying missiles were being built there. So that's important. And now we have to look about where does the USA and Trump stand on this.
All right, Johnny, I put it up there.
You got it? What Netanyahu said. Right there, in the black.
Yeah, I mean, it's just too much of a coincidence that Israel absolutely has no hands on this. Obviously, we need to find more proof. Right now, the story is the nitrate. Yeah. Even from people on the ground, I think Rania was out there.
Yeah. It says Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today at Castle, when the issue is security, we do not rest even for one moment. The IDF thwarted an attempt to plant explosives on the Syrian front. Yesterday, we took actions in Gaza Strip regarding renegade fire. And of course, the matter with Lebanon is still in the air. We will hit anyone who tries to attack us, and the principle applies to anyone who does attack us. How's my Netanyahu?
I don't know. I don't hear him enough to know, fam. I'm sorry.
Oh, my God. I thought Ladies and gentlemen, how is my Netanyahu? I tried to do a little Netanyahu. Let me know how it was. Fam is not giving me credit. Damn, fam. Let's take a look at what do you think Donald Trump... See, now this is the thing the other day. It's like Trump calls Beirut explosion a terrible attack, a bomb of some kind. Did he just leak information out? That once again, it's not what Donald Trump doesn't say. It's what he says sometimes that really piss off the elites. They're like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to say that, Right. So... Donald Trump, kind of mentioned they seem to think it was an attack. It was a bomb of some kind. And and talking about this blast, you can hear it all the way down in Cyprus. You can hear it down in southern Lebanon. A couple 100 miles away, you can hear this.
Dude, the way it went off really seems like it was a bomb. I don't know. Like it detonated. Like it was a detonation. Right. It wasn't like It wasn't like 1, 2, 3 little explosions going off to create a big explosion.
Maybe 1, 2.
It was like one big ass explosion.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that.
It's just crazy. I don't know. I'm not sleeping on it. I don't know for sure. Like I said, I'm not my name is not Beaker. I don't know how ammonium nitrate works. Anything with nitrate, Johnny says, is bad, and Johnny's an official TV chemist, so I'll believe him. I think we need to talk about where they go from here, because right now they're crippled. They were already in a very bad way. This is just going to further cripple them. Well, look who's offering help, fam.
China.
This is from Shen Shiwi. China is willing to help Lebanon. Chinese foreign minister spokesperson said on Wednesday press conference while extending condolences to the victims. #Beirut, #Beirut explosion. And they got the China flag next to the Beirut flag. So look for China to come in and say, hey, man, you want help with your infrastructure? You want help with everything? Let's do something here. Lebanon has some work to do. You know what I'm saying? The way their government is structured, I don't know. There's a lot of people in there that, friends of mine have told me in Lebanon there is a faction that's kind of like the Cubans in Miami, like the Iranians in LA. They think the West is going to liberate them, and they want their governments to get out of the way.
Trust me,
let the
West
West
liberate
them.
You.
We want to be part of the West. So Beirut has that, mean, I don't know that, but
people have that. Just like Hong Kong has those people too.
Yeah. Well, Hong Kong is mostly, young kids out there.
Right.
So that's that. And we also talked about, fam, this is something we got to talk about. What can really save the Lebanese economy? Guess what it is, fam? My expertise.
Hemp, fam.
Hemp, fam. The risk is zero. Legalizing cannabis in Lebanon could help solve its economic crisis. Well, here you go, fam. They need to go full hard, blast cannabis, sativa, indica, hemp, grow it, make products out of it, rebuild your economy, sell it. You know what I'm saying? This is, once again, all you need is water and the sun. So, get this go. I hope they get this going. This is something they can do. Maybe they're at such a bad crisis, they won't care with the West. And, and that's the thing. Their government has, it has a Christian leader. It has a Sunni vice president of sorts, and it has a Shia who speaks for their parliament. So they're mixed in together. So there are factions that are going to be very like, oh, no, we can't touch marijuana and whatnot. But they're at such a crisis. Maybe they go, hey, what choice do we have? Let's start smoking it up, toking it up, and selling it up, because that's the only way we can bring our economy
People
back.
would be smarter if they use, not just for inhaling and smoking, fam, but for fuel, for
we'll talk about that.
Like toilet paper, for simple things like that. Replacing hemp with so many things would just be amazing.
All furniture in your houses, all your couches, like this stuff could be made out of hemp and whatnot.
Everything.
Not only that, toilet paper, right?
Toilet paper.
On what the world wipes their ass on if we went to hemp toilet paper. But that's the thing. This is also, if you're a Green New Deal type of person, you got to be for this, because less trees being cut down, we use hemp. You know what I'm saying? Less cotton and all this resource, we use hemp. It grows like a weed. You know what I'm saying? The Declaration of Independence was signed on a fucking piece of hemp. Let's go.
That's right. They were toking it up back then.
So that's what we're going to do with Lebanon. We're just going to stay right there with it, guys. Like, share, subscribe. There's 192 people on the YouTube. There's 12 on the Rockfin. Let's get on over there, guys. Niko House has more subscribers than us, followers than us, and I'm not going to sleep well with that. We've been beating him. Yeah. If you haven't signed up, go over, sign up for free, follow us, and if you got a few extra bucks, hey, listen, I got word on the news that they might be extending that payroll tax, then you can send that $9.99. So, and stuff. But anybody who does help us out on the Patreon, with the Super Chats, with the subscription on Rockfin, thank you so much. We were just talking how lovely. We answered a few of you back on our Patreon.
We'll work on it more.
We're gonna do more. There are some new names on the Rockfin. But can I read them real quick?
Yeah.
Do we have anything else to say on this subject right now?
I think we need to be watching it.
Yeah. Listen, this is the part of why people have to pay attention to foreign policy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This can really mean things go all crazy over there right now. Yeah. And we are very influential, and it's our tax dollars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Really, to tell you the truth. We need to pay attention to foreign policy. And we kind of, we keep our nose around. We said last year, keep your eye on Israel and Lebanon, ladies and gentlemen. Something's going on over here. Netanyahu is puffing his chest up about Hezbollah. And then we see a Fugazi attack on the border. And now today, yesterday, there's a bomb that disables the only economic life left in Lebanon.
Does Lebanon have any enemies?
Israel.
Israel. That's their like big enemy.
Israel, and by allyship then us, right? Because we're so entirely supportive of Israel. So there's the Eastern axis and the Western axis, just like there's always been.
Lebanon is close allies with Syria. Lebanon is close allies with Iran. Syria and Iran have been on our shit list, especially Iran. And like I said, we have
allies with China at this point. And
and that's the thing. Iran's
Russia.
been sneaking around selling stuff to China for years right now. Right. Even with the sanctions, they've been finding ways to get around it. But, we said this before, we also, I don't know if you guys remember the show, we talked about the Millennial 2000, I think it was, where it was a kind of like simulated war against Iran, right? Yeah. So Iran employed something called asymmetrical warfare, which I didn't even know what it was. I had to look it up again. I was in the service and I still don't know what asymmetrical warfare is. I cooked. But that's a kind of type of warfare where you don't try to take them head on. So in other words, if Iran tried to take the United States head on in a war, it would lose. Like try to go might for might. No, but what they can do is use these kind of like guerrilla tactics on a big level. Yeah. In other words, there's only in the Strait of Hormuz and the Med, they would employ all these speedboats with a bunch of explosives. So now all our airships that try to get into our aircraft carriers will be like trying to go through a hive of flies and bees flying around. And, you know what I'm saying, there's other ways. Also, the region in Iran is also very, beneficial for Iran in the war. They can go into the mountains. They can hide. There's, you can't just get in there and try to take it over. It will be a fight, and it would be hard. So, Pompeo, who's the FBI or the CIA director, which one is he now? I forget right now. He is an evil genius of some sorts. He's an asshole in a lot of ways, but, I mean, maybe what he's trying to do right now is take advantage of the times and start to weaken Iran's allies. Now, to me, he shouldn't even do that because it's game over anyways, you know what I'm saying? Because the Chinese are there now. It's going to be really tough. But, let's get the most weakest country out of there. Let's hurt them. Let's damage them to the fact. Let's take out Beirut. Mm-hmm. Let's take out Lebanon. Let's take out an ally of Iran. Who knows?
Yeah, because we were just covering it last week, right? You were covering how they're having an economic disaster.
It's people saying they're having a fall down. No, it fell. It's done.
Yeah.
They've hit hyperinflation. It is done. They have some serious problems. They don't know how they will recover. So why not get them now? Why not hit them now?
That's what I'm saying. Hit them when they're all the way down.
Exactly.
Completely.
All right.